Well, hello, my name is Claire White and I work on the Microsoft Education team here in Australia. Hope you're enjoying EduTech so far, and I'd like to welcome you to our Windows Device Partner Showcase today. In this session, we'll be hearing from Matthew Chow, who's the CEO of One Education, as he talks about their hero devices for education, how these devices can support hybrid, blended and personalised learning, and how they make it easier for IT departments to manage and deploy those devices. Please enjoy this session.
Hello, my name is Matthew Chow and I'm CEO at One Education Foundation, a social enterprise based in Sydney, Australia, with a focus on developing and delivering technology for education to disadvantaged and low socioeconomic communities around Australia and beyond. Over the past decade, One Education focused its efforts on designing technology specifically for education. And as we did that, we had the opportunity to speak and discuss with thousands of teachers, principals, and decision makers from schools in Australia and developing nations. What we've learned is that durability is a paramount factor in deciding which technology is actually going to be appropriate to withstand the test of time in a classroom environment. So designing technology specifically for education doesn't necessarily equate to copying and paste something that's been already done before. There's a lot of effort that goes into understanding why a particular device is better suited for a particular environment. And classroom environments are extremely challenging for a device. Not only because, once again, they need to be durable, but what we've added to the right formula, we believe, is repairability. So repairability is another one of those factors that have made the difference in the work that One Education has been doing in schools and across communities in education. And in terms of hero device, this year we're quite proud to present our Infinity laptop, specifically built for the classroom, which means it is drop proof, it is splash proof as well, so we can spill quite a bit of liquid over the keyboard without causing any damage. Convertible design, so that's quite handy to convert it into a tablet, a tent, or in general just to allow quite a bit of flexibility when it comes to usage. 11.6 inches touchscreen device, 10 touch points, really maximizing the possibilities in terms of creativity with this device. The trackpad is a precision trackpad, so we can actually program various gestures there or leverage the potential that Windows offers to allow for a very dynamic and flexible approach with the various applications. Camera is on swivel, which is quite cool, so it can be converted depending on the various configurations which are allowed by the device. It's got a handy dandy handle, we like to call it, which is quite strong and obviously allows the students to carry it to school potentially or carry it around the classroom. And finally, it is based on Intel processor quad core, so it actually packs a fair bit of grunt. The base model is 4 gigs with 4 gigs of RAM with 128 gigabytes of SSD, lightning quick SSD. So it's a rather powerful device, and we also deliver it in a higher spec version with 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs SSD. One of the things that I love about this device the most is the integration with Windows 10. And in the future, obviously, Windows 11 as well. So it is going to be Windows 11 ready quite soon. But for the moment, with Windows 10, the integration has been just fantastic. We have several thousands of these devices delivered to schools in Queensland, in New South Wales, in almost all states around Australia, and we have quite a few thousands actually delivered to communities elsewhere. And as we touch base on repairability and durability as seriously important factors surrounding the Infinity, what's more is affordability. So without having a device which can actually be purchased by communities which are not necessarily as fortunate as other affluent communities, One Education wouldn't be able to fulfill its mission of, again, delivering affordable technology as well as durable, repairable, flexible, and well-performing. So the way we do this is to actually pack a lot of technology which is well proven, but selected in a way that doesn't get the price of the device to bloat with perhaps features which are not necessarily particularly important in classroom environments. So what's really a learning lesson that we found over the years as well is the fact that schools do want technology which is obviously modern, obviously well compatible with all the various activities which the school will be presenting to students and lined up with the curriculum as well. But what's more to that is that the number of features that we as OEMs, as manufacturers, as distributors should be focusing on are the features which are truly useful in a classroom environment. And oftentimes I find teachers who are quite keen on evaluating the Infinity, particularly because of its minimalistic approach, if you like. So instead of going and delivering incredible features, perhaps at the expense of durability or price, we try to really focus onto what's truly important in a classroom environment, which again, it's really not a lot of factors, aside from the fact that the laptop or the device in question needs to be working reliably for many, many years, needs to be easy to utilize, and needs to present a set of features which are quite useful in a classroom environment. Across the various conversations which we have daily with students and educators in schools, we've had the chance to learn that the Infinity actually packs a lot of potential when it comes to hybrid learning. So we've experienced firsthand an incredible number of teachers willing to go above and beyond to implement lesson plans lined up with the Australian curriculum, which involve directly the touchscreen as a feature, or the stylus, or even the precision trackpad, which is present on the Infinity as one of the many features. This is fantastic because it means that we are able to deliver technology to schools which actually inspire educators and students to do more, to become more creative and to adapt the learning and teaching practices to what One Education has to offer in terms of technology. So what's more to what we've already touched base on is the fact that the Infinity is an affordable device, which means it is allowing countless schools from low socioeconomic or disadvantaged communities to finally being able to access modern technology which was out of reach just before. So this is something that One Education is seriously proud about. And we're seeing that this is also driving a new trend, which we like to call inclusive learning. Inclusive learning is all about allowing students from all different backgrounds, social, culture, to finally have the opportunity to have their hands on the same technology which students in more affluent areas would normally have. These, along with features such as the touchscreen, the camera, the ability to interface the Infinity with countless applications available through Windows 10, and the ability of educators to as well understand how this technology works, which is also part of what One Education delivers in terms of professional development for educators. Ultimately results in students truly being able to experience what technology has to offer today. Without necessarily having to look into budgets which unfortunately are completely unaffordable for a lot of these communities we find. And finally, there is collaborative learning, which is something that One Education has been focusing very strongly in the past year, which truly means connecting educators to be able to truly understand what kind of technology they have in their hands and what that technology can do for them and for the students. We all understand how important it is for educators and students to focus on learning rather than trying to address technical issues or even just the deployment of those devices which are delivered to schools. So One Education over the years has been delivering expertise around features which Microsoft has actually brought to market specifically to enhance the world of education, such as Autopilot or Intune for Education. And we have a serious number of schools, more so, which are starting to understand that Intune for Education, for example, well integrates with a lot of the platforms which are already utilized in the school, but it's also something that is truly flexible and easy to learn, not only for ICT coordinators, but even teachers. We have teachers who are now actually interested in understanding how Intune for Education works, because they don't want to have necessarily to call the ICT coordinator in the school. What they want to do is to be able to deploy the change that they want to apply to their own classroom, and away they go, ready for teaching and the students ready for learning once again. So we find, and this is truly an important component of achieving that successful rollout of technology in schools. So we would like to see more educators and more ICT coordinators keen to understand really how technology works and what the potential is all about. And to close off, I truly hope that it's clear that education is a seriously complex environment, rich at challenges, rich at differences. Students, educators, ICT coordinators, principals, locations, cultures, languages. There is just so much to add to it. So technology must be able to adapt, and technology must be able to support schools and education communities all across the country and across the world. So there isn't a one-size-fits-all when it comes to delivering technology in the schools. We, as manufacturers, as developers, as OEMs, as suppliers, must be able to adapt to what the school, what that particular community truly requires for them to implement technology successfully. Thank you so much for listening, and once again, I'm Matthew Chow from One Education Foundation. I hope you can visit us online or reach out to us. I'm pretty sure that there's a lot for us to learn and for everyone to understand how to truly improve the world of education. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for this Windows Device Partner Showcase. I hope you enjoyed hearing from our device partners and found this useful for your school. Make sure you visit our virtual booth for more info or to connect with us. And please enjoy the rest of EduTech. Bye!